Okay, folks, so here's what I'm going to do. We are going to go over 10.1 and 10.2. This is geometry. I'm going to make this simple, folks. We have a circle. All of you guys know a circle. So that's our first vocabulary word. Circle. I'm going to call that circle Z. If I drew one line through the center of that circle, Z is the center of the circle, that line would be called a diameter. So diameter, let's call that diameter AB. Now, a diameter is all the way across the circle. If I have ZB, that would be called a radius. A radius is half the circle. All radii are equal. ZC is equal to ZB, is also equal to ZA. Now, I have, let's say another one. I have a great segment right here. This segment I'm going to label LM. Well, LM is known as a chord. Like a chord on the piano, that's how it's spelled. So LM is our chord right there. Now, our last part of this would be circumference. This is a word you should have heard before, and it is the distance around a circle. So that's that whole distance all right here around a circle. If we're talking about some formulas, circumference is equal to pi times diameter. Now, pi is equal to 3.14, but you actually want to use the actual pi button on your calculator. Now, diameter, if it's the whole thing across the circle, diameter is actually equal to 2 times the radius. So another way you could write circumference is circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius. Let's say we have a diameter of 22 inches. To find the circumference, I'm going to multiply pi times that 22, and I'm going to actually get that in a calculator here. So we have, sorry about that, pi times 22, and we get to 69.12 inches, and that would be our circumference of the circle. If I was to ask you the radius of the circle, you would divide 22 by 2, and it would be 11 inches. Hopefully that helps you guys with 10.1, and I will go on to 10.2 next. So let's draw a little line here. 10.2, draw another circle here. Yay, circle. Let's name this circle Circle Z again. And I'm going to draw 2 radii here. And name those A and B. So it looks like a little bit of a pizza slice. Well, that pizza slice can be broken up into 2 different parts. What's called a minor arc and a major arc. AB is our minor arc. Our major arc, let's put another point over here. Let's put C. A major arc would be considered ACB. So major arc and minor arc. I'll actually label them for you here. All right. Well, what we've just created here is actually called a central angle. it has its vertex at the center of the circle, which is why it's called central, and it's an angle. Now, that central angle is going to be important because of something we call arc length. Arc length. Now, arc length is the literal length of this arc, AB. Say that this arc, and this is probably not correct, but say this arc is 65 degrees. Now, that's probably not correct, but we know in geometry that we're estimating a little bit of things. So arc length is denoted by this little cursive L. And the formula for arc length is x over 360 degrees. Now, every circle is 360 degrees all around. The circle's 360. So we're going to multiply this part of the circle, this central angle, by 2 times pi times r. Now, 2 times pi times r, hey, that's our circumference. So we're multiplying the circumference by a fraction. So we're looking for a part of the circle. Now, x is our central angle. So if I wanted to find a central angle or an arc length of a central angle with 65 degrees, I would input 65 over 360 and multiply it by 2 times pi. Now I need a radius. Let's say our radius is 7. We'll go 7. We'll stick with inches in our previous example. So I'm going to multiply that by 7. So I need to put that in my calculator now. I come back over to my calculator, have parentheses. I'm going to go 65 divided by 360. Close those parentheses. Multiply it by 2. Actually, I'm going to put these in parentheses too. 2 times pi times 7. Click my enter button, and I'm going to get 7.94. So my arc length is 7.94 inches. I have the correct units there. And there we go. All right. The last thing I wanted to cover, actually, forgot. If I was to connect here, A to C, we have one more vocab word, and that is called a semicircle. And the semicircle is AC. It is half the circle. So semi, part of, or half of the circle. Semicircle is 180 degrees. All right, I think that covers everything. So here is your notes for 10.1 and 10.2, and I hope this is helpful.